Hello, everyone. This is Divine Due Diligence coming on here doing my due diligence of giving you the inspiration and the downloads that God has given me. Today is kind of like bittersweet for me. Um, this process hasn't been easy as far as the journey. I really didn't understand what the journey was until I started doing it until I started going on the journey. Um, and I began to go back to the Word of God and figuring out what all the journey entails. When I first got the information as far as the journey, all I knew was you are about to have an Abraham experience. That was consistently given to me. And quite contrary, I told my sister, I literally talked to her and said, God told me that I'm about to be like Abraham. And I did not fully understand it until today. I've been crying. I really have been crying because I feel, I know it's not for me. I know this is a part of my journey and I understand it. But at the end of the day, do you really want to be by yourself? And do you really want to walk this journey by yourself? And there were opportunities that, um, because I came into certain people's lives, I just knew that they was going to take up the bed and walk with this journey. First I thought it was my twin. I was like, okay, we're gonna do the mission together. I see it, I understand it. I really didn't at that point know what the twin flame was, but I seen it. I looked it up. I knew all the signs were there. I seen everything or whatever have you. And I only can tell a person from what it is. I can't sugarcoat nothing. I never would sugarcoat anything. At the end of the day, I knew that was what it was called. I knew it was called a twin flame journey. I didn't understand that there were more aspects to it, but because of the name, this is why I tell people, do not just go off of what a person's saying by name. Go off research. Go off understanding them, and understanding the intelligence of what is being said behind it, right? So the only thing I can go off is what it is literally said. Twin flame journey. You my twin flame. You don't you see this? Don't you see that? Um. So in I want to say the end of October, the beginning of November, uh, it closed out. It really closed out. That part of that journey closed out because I began to elevate. Um, it's not saying that he is literally my twin, but I can never go backwards. And it's because I have elevated to a standard that God is looking for in this season. And for me to go backwards, it will be beneath me. It would be at a place where God is like, okay, I already brought you so much further than this. It's like dropping down right to the bottom and trying to pick yourself back up. And then when you get back to the point where you were, you're supposed to be at an elevation or a level that higher than that. So it's never you can go back if you have already elevated. If you have already elevated, and I'm literally talking to the twin flames, if you already elevated and your twin did not choose you, you have a high level soulmate that is arriving. Because you can't do a journey. God said, how can two walk together unless they agree? This thing is calling for two pairs of twos to complete this mission. And then it went from my twin flame to my sister, and I knew my sister was supposed to be my partner. I was like, oh man, how am I going to do this journey? So when my sister had this 50th birthday party, I made sure I was like, you know what? I'm going to give my all. I'm going to give my 100%. And you know what? Okay, if this my partner, then it's good. I'm okay. She reneged on God. Sometimes we have to literally walk the faith walk, y'all. This faith walk is not easy, but we so complex. We so comfortable and almost misery because at the end of the day, what is it doing for you? Is it really elevating you to the levels that God has already seen and predestined for you? Or are you already staying stuck? We have to choose this day who you going to serve. And I chose God. I said, God, I will choose you, and I will choose you over and over again. Why? Because so many humans with so-called hearts had let me down. Am I the only one up in here can say that? But at the end of the day, there's one person, one spirit man, one man that has never let me down. And that was God himself. At the end of the day, we need to trust God with everything. With everything. My last part of that journey was, okay, is my children going to elevate? Well, I had one of them to elevate, to be with me on this journey because I can't. I don't want. It's not that I can. I don't want to be by myself. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to walk the journey alone. Come through the invite and make sure your speaker is on me. But at the end of the day, I can't focus on that. And neither can you, because guess what? God is calling you for something higher, something better, and something that's advanced. At the end of the day, you see the times are changing. You see everything changing around you. Why? Because that new earth has arrived. At the end of the day, if you don't get it, then no one else will. You seeing everybody that you literally had life with are separating. You don't understand why they're being separated. Whether they're being separated in a physical, life and death, or you just not having that compact communication, or just they don't call you anymore. They don't deal with you anymore. And you're like, oh man, I thought we were cool. I thought we loved each other. It's not about that. And I learned that love is not an emotion. People get this thing twisted. Love is not an emotion. It's an action. Why do you say this, Divine? When you are loved the proper way, it's an action. It's something that someone is going to act towards. Now, when you have so much emotions dealing with love, you get hurt every time. Every time you get hurt. And that's like a complete cycle over and over again. I don't care who it is, people, places, and things. You get hurt because you put your emotions into what is not supposed to be. Love, you're supposed to be showing it where there's asking somebody, are you hungry? Do you need anything? Making space, making room for them if they don't have a place. Giving them a good advice, or allowing them to have some type of action out of what is really to be true, or really to understand where that level of action is needed for you. Let's put it like that. Where that level of action is needed for you, whether you need a listening ear, whether you need food, whether you need shelter, whether you need love, at a place of action. Love is not an emotion, y'all. And we get messed up over and over and over because of love. Put the emotion down and pick up the action, and you will find that you will be able to live at ease and in a peace of mind because your emotion is not in it. That does not mean that you don't have a heart. It doesn't mean that your heart is not operating. It's just saying my love is put to action. I don't have to forego or let go the action because I have an emotion that's involved. And I had to learn that. So I was told too that everybody is not going to be able to go with me on this journey. I just knew, like I said, I just knew it was just one. Just knew just one was going to pick this up with me and run with it, understanding. At first, I got to a place of, I think it's my oldest son. Yeah, you know spirituality. Okay, you know it's got to be together, right? You get your religion and you got spirituality. You put them together because one is natural, one is spiritual. So when you put them together, you got it, right? So back to what I was saying. So I thought my oldest son had the understanding of spirituality. Then it went from my oldest son to my middle son. Oh, I got it, man, And he was feeding me some understandings and some downloads and stuff like that. I said, oh, okay. I got, okay, okay, yeah, I know that too. And then, but a lot of it wasn't adding up. You can't be lukewarm. Because what? At the end of the day, God will what? Spew you out his mouth. We have to get to a place that we are truly aligning with God. No matter the age, no matter the cost, no matter what you may think and what you want. At the end of the day, we must trust and believe that God is going to continue the path that he has us on. But we need to bring ourselves to a mindset. Are we really going to walk that walk? Are we really going to talk that talk? Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to walk out what you say to understand that it's God. So when all my children even went down to my baby girl, I thought she had it too. Oh, I got it. Yeah, mom, be looking at you. I understand it. And all that type of stuff. But she didn't have it either. So God said, at the end of the day, I have to move these people out the way. You said no matter the cost. I knew it was God of how it transpired. There was no way in the world that it should have happened that way. I thought it was going to happen a different way, but you know what? When you don't want to give in, God will take full control. When you don't want to give in, God will take full control. I didn't like it. I'm not going to lie. I did not like it. But at the end of the day, I knew it was for my better good. I knew it was for the cost of the journey. And I trust God that at the end of the day, he going to see me through this. And so this is what the live is about today. You got to trust God. When he move people out your life, no matter who it is, remember this. Your children are just loaned to you. They are nothing for you to completely have. And a lot of people wrap their minds around, oh, they my children. I don't want nothing to happen to them. I don't want nobody to take them. I this and I that. But we must realize they are loners. They are here to get the same type of lessons that we got. So if they must go on their merry way to get the understanding that God is not playing with nobody in this season, let it be that. Let it be that. Long as they is out of hurt, harm, and danger, allow them to get the message and get the understanding that they need that will get them on their journey where they need to go at and go. Because remember, this is a personal thing. It's a personal walk between you and God. It's a personal walk. It's nothing that we can add to, and it's nothing that we can take away from. But we must really, really trust the process. And if we don't trust the process, we'll never get to where God really wants us to be. We will never get to the point of understanding, wow, we can have that milk and honey. We can have the cream of the crop. We can have everything that God already prepared for us. But we got to make that choice. That free will must make that choice and choose what God has already preordained and predestined for you. But if you don't make that choice, you'll see all that you came here for go to waste. Because you choose something that you wanted, not what God wanted for you. So I'm going to read this. It was one person verbatim that really I understand to be. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. The heat is making my phone act crazy. All right, Simon. Samuel was the one that heard the voice of God in the Bible without seeing him, while serving in the tabernacle as a boy under the priest Eli. And this is 1 Samuel chapter 3, 1 through 10. He mistaken the voice for Eli 3 times before realizing that it was the Lord. A pivotal moment making his calling as a prophet. The key details of Samuel's experience, the context. Messages from God were read at that time, and Samuel did not yet know the Lord personally or the word of the Lord. The calling. Samuel was sleeping near the covenant chest when he heard a voice calling his name. The confusion. He ran to Eli 3 times thinking that was the priest. Eli was calling him. The guidance in this, Eli finally realized the Lord was calling the boy and told him to respond. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Eli, because Eli had a personal relationship, because Eli heard the understanding of what God, the Lord was trying to get Samuel's attention about. Say, just answer. Really, just answer. Tell the Lord, I'm listening. The revelation of this, when God called the 4th time, he didn't call just once, just twice, he called 4 times. He called 4 times. Samuel responded as instructed and received a message regarding judgment on Eli's family. Like I consistently keep saying, if we don't hear God's voice, God will make sure that he'll get our attention in some way or the other. It's up to us to really understand that is God and God alone. And if we don't get in a place that we really trust and that we really acknowledge God and that we really hear God's voice, then that will be a problem. A problem for us. So in my case, I said, God, you told me about Abraham. So I had to go back and say, okay, you told me about Abraham. Let's talk about Abraham. Why did God choose Abraham to leave everybody? Why did he choose Abraham to leave everybody? I'll walk you through this structural deep way. Who, what, when, where, how, and what it produces. And then briefly connect you with others that follow the same path. Abraham, the blueprint. This is where the twin flame markers come from. It's not the people itself. It is the blueprint that 2 people share to complete a mission. I'm going to say that again. Twin flames come with the same blueprint for a mission to be completed out. So the blueprint of leaving everything. Who? Originally, his name was Abram. From a pagan culture, it's just like equate. Called by God personally, not through religion. I'm going to say that again. It wasn't through religion that Abram was called. Not through a system either. What did he leave, y'all? Abraham didn't just relocate it. He detached from identity, security, and structure. His homeland, which was a comfort zone. So that can be physically your homeland or just the comfort zone that you're in. You feel comfortable, so it's not, okay, I'm not going to do what God is calling me to do because I'm so comfortable, right? His family systems. Yes, did I say systems? Your family has systems. However your family dynamic is, that's a system. Whether you fuss and fight, whether you don't speak, whether you have death in your family, far as gun violence, people on drugs, it's a system. I promise you, you just don't have one. You may have a couple of people that been through the same dynamics. It's a system. His inheritance and predestined future, the predictable one, he left it. His belief system, the ideology of it, and the relationship with God, he left it for the relationship with God. This wasn't just physical. You hear me talk about this all the time. It's mentally, it's emotionally, it's spiritually, and him doing the movement is physically. He separated it. He made sure that everything was put in its category, and he walked accordingly. When? It's never too late. He did this at the age of 75. 75. Genesis 12:4. This matter because he wasn't young or starting off fresh. So it mattered, y'all. 75 to just leave everything and start all over by yourself. It mattered. It really did. He had already built a life and still left it. Where did he go? From Ur, Haran, and Canaan. That was the promised land where he left everything. He left out of his comfort zone. He went to the promised land. But here's the key. He went to a place he did not yet know. He went to a place that he did not know. How did he do it? You say, divine. Not with a plan, with obedience and trust. Step by step, God spoke, Abraham responded without full clarifying. He didn't get the full clarity of what God was saying. He just moved. He said, God said, I'm doing it. Let me go. I'll get the instructions on the way. Right? Moves physically before understanding spiritually. You got to allow your physical man to take precedence, because your spirit man he already knows. But your physical man, if your physical man don't move, your spiritual man is not going to pick up. It's not. Learns God through the journey. He learned God through the journey, not before the journey. That's why if you don't walk, pick up your bed and walk, that's the journey. That's the journey. This is crucial. It did not wait until it made sense. He didn't wait till it made sense. He just moved. When God said something, he just moved. That was the faith. In the word of God, it says, if you have the faith of the size of a mustard seed. He had that faith. And it seems to me he had more than that faith, more than enough faith to be able to move on what God has told him to do. Obedience, what is better than sacrifice? It may hurt. You may shed some tears. It may even cause a little bit issues because you got to try to find your way into alignment. It's all going to line up and it's all going to work, what? Together for your good. So it may cause confusion for people that don't know and people that don't understand, but it will never cause confusion for you. I promise you. Why did he leave? The reason. God called, which was Genesis 12:1-3. Leave your country, your people, and your father's household. But deeper reasons for this: separation from corruption. Separation from corruption. His environment was spiritually polluted. The idolizing everything around it. Formation of the identity. God was building a new what? Lineage. Not just a new location. covenant relationship. God is trying to literally make covenants with his people. But we got to choose it. He's never going to force us to choose a covenant with him. He's never going to do that. Not religion. It wasn't about religion. It was a direct relationship with God. This is all spirituality is about, y'all. People think it's so high and off lady. I don't want that. No, it is a complete direct communication with God. You cut out all the other middlemans. You hear him for yourself. What was the cost? Let's be honest. It wasn't easy. It's going to cost you something. It's not easy. But are you ready? It's not easy to leave behind people you know, people you love, people you want to be around, people, places, or things. It's not easy. But if God is calling you to take a journey, it's for a specific reason, a specific season, which is now. And he's allowing you to move to a place where other people, remember, your people are really not going to welcome you. I promise you. If you are destined to move out and have a journey, you know you're able to heal. You know you're able to deliver people. And you know you're able to allow people to get the elevation that they need in God. Yeah. It's going to cost you something. This journey wasn't easy in the beginning with me. This journey is not light. It's not, you got to be a heavyweight for a journey. And you talk about, Divine, why do you say journey? If you go back in the Bible, there are so many people that were elevated off of journeys. But is you ready for it? Remember, what goes around comes around. However it starts is the way it's going to finish. I promise you that. God said that everything will go what? Back to the beginning states. That means everything on this earth is going back to purity. It's going back to being purified. Do you want to be a part of that? Oh yeah, I do. Hands down, 10 toes down. I want to be a part of the purification. I want to be a part of the deliverance. I want to be a part of the healing. I want to be a part of the favor of God. But you got to trust the journey and you got to trust the process. Only you can do it, and you alone. Nobody can force you to do anything. Nobody. What was the cause? Uncertainty and instability. Oh my gosh, I could talk to you about some instability. Uncertainty, I could talk to you about some uncertainty. I'm walking this journey. It's amazing. But I tell you, you got to have some real faith. I'm talking about some real faith. If you talk about really going on a journey, you don't know what's going to happen next, but you got to be full force and ready for it. It may hurt, but you got to prepare your heart, your mind, and your soul, most definitely your spirit, man. Famine, he faced real hardships. Conflict with family, which was Lot. Long waiting. Decades for promise. Testing, especially with Isaac. Now, that's so funny because my middle son, his first name was supposed to be Isaac. But his middle name is Isaac. And when I went to look at this, I was like, wow. Testing. He was a tester for me. A real big one. A real big one. Day one. Big one. Leaving didn't remove struggles. I want to say that again, and I want to pinpoint. Leaving did not remove struggles. It changed the nature of it. It's never going to stop as far as you having some type of struggle, because it's an uncertain path. When you walking by faith, you don't know what's about to come. You don't know what's going to happen. So for you, it may feel like a struggle. For God, it's not. But for you, it may be. But for you, it may be. I know right now, I feel I'm at a place of a struggle. But I know one thing for sure and two things for certain. God will never leave me, and he will never forsake me. I knew that as a child. As a child. What was the reward from that? He got full covenant with God. A direct personal relationship. Promise of a nation. Became the father of Israel. Spiritual legacy. Oh my goodness. I'm going to say that again. Spiritual legacy. We so high up with materialistic things. But if we build our spirit man to be so abundant, everything else will fall in line. Because at the end of the day, God he's furnishing. He's progressing the spirit man. And everything that deals with your spirit man deals with the natural as well. He's not going to give you abundance in one and don't give you abundance in the other. And remember, it always has to work inside, then out. Not outside, then in. It will never work. It will never work if you're trying to make your outer appearance, your outer self first, then your spiritual man, which is in. Cleaning up everything that happened to you to get to this place that you are at now. It won't work. The spiritual legacy was called Father of Faith. Referenced throughout the Bible and beyond. Transformation of identity. Abram to Abraham. Father of many nations. Aligned with purpose. This is everybody's destiny, to make sure that they are walking in purpose. What do you say, divine? Who is purpose? You are. And if you are not at a point that you're walking in purpose, that means walking to the full authentic you, the full version of yourself, no matter what the cost may be, no matter what anybody says about you, no matter what anybody think about you, you losing out. You losing. You have lost yourself, and then you lost out on what God has already designed for you. Remember, he said, I know the plans I have for you. He know them. And he's wanting you to awaken to what he's already predestined. But if you don't want it, you ain't going to get it. You got to always have in your mindset, he ain't going to force me, but he got me. He's not going to force it on me, but I know he got me. His life became bigger than survival. It became generational impact. You got to recognize the people that's coming behind you. They have to leave a legacy too. But you are right now leaving a marker for them. You are the legacy holders for the generations that's underneath you. A lot of families right now don't have matriarchs. A lot of families right now don't have patriarchs. Don't get it twisted. We're not going to say you next in line. That don't work like that. What happens is, once the matriarch, the foundation of how that family was founded on, that means the mother, how it started. The father, how it started, where it all began. Where can I go back in the lineage to find the matriarch, to find the patriarch? This is how families get the legacy. But you are the descendants leaving the legacy. You never can replace a matriarch and a patriarch. Stop getting that twisted, because I know I got a family member that thinks that. But at the end of the day, you never replace them. You are a descendant leaving a legacy. You came behind them. They had children before you did. So how are you the matriarch? He had children before you did. How are you the patriarch? The dictionary that I read, the one that is the mother, the head of the family, is that. They the only one that get that protocol. The only one that get that title. But we recognize all these other titles, but we don't understand that cannot be passed down. But the legacy can. The legacy can. What you leave behind, what they have left behind, and what their parents have left behind. Descendants leaving legacy. This is what this is all about. The journey. The person that's purpose. The descendant leaving a legacy. We are not going to be here forever. Let's say that again, Divine. We are not going to be here forever. What are you leaving behind? What are you imparting in this earth that your children, that your grandchildren, that your great-grandchildren, and however far it go down the line, will be proud of, will understand that is truth, will understand that my grandmother or my mother left that behind for me. She set a marker, and it was a precedence. You go back and look on Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and all that. It wasn't about what everybody else. It was about legacy, y'all. It was about legacy. When they were dead and gone, the names were still being said. What they did was still being said. Whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, the legacy was there. What are you leaving behind for a legacy? What journey have you started to leave one? I don't care how old you are. You can be 102, far as I care. Abraham was 75. God said it's now high time to make the imprint on the earth. Not just for your descendants, but for others too to follow. Make the mark. Make the impact. Don't feel like it's costing you something, even though it is. Because at the end of the day, the price, the cost will be everything. Because you left a mark and you left legacy. You left the right to say who God truly was in your life. But you must hold the standard. You must hold a standard. No matter the cost. No matter what people say. No matter validations or not. Validate yourself, baby. No pushes or not. Push yourself. Make the mark. I stand before you. I sit before you. I'm here before you. And I'm telling you, make the mark. It's great. But we all, as a collective body, had to trust. And where does trust come from? By walking by faith and not by sight. God has calling you for such a time as this to make an impact. You don't want to not make an impact. Because then you're leaving it up to the next generation, the next descendants, to walk the same path that you were supposed to walk. And that it may be harder for them than it was for your walk. Why would you want to do that to them? Why? You might just be the generational curse breaker in your family. But because you did not pick up your bag and walk on the journey, you would never know.
descendant will pick up the bed and walk and say, okay, my mother didn't do it, but I'm going to do it, which is my case. My mother tried it, y'all. God revealed this thing to me, and I mean revealed it. Do you hear me? I didn't understand it until now. I didn't understand it till now. As a child, my mother used to take me everywhere. And I'm giving this out because I know it's somebody on here that needs to hear this. My mother used to take me everywhere with her. Now, mind you, she had 3 children, 3 girls. My oldest one was given to my grandmother, which her father then retained her. My mother went off to the army. She wanted to provide. Then she came back. She had my middle sister. After my middle sister was me. Mind you, me and my middle sister always lived together. I never knew I had an older sister until I got as an adult. Even at my mother's funeral, I did not know that was my sister. I seen her there, but I did not know her. Quite contrary of what anybody else think, I did not know my older sister by my mother. But my middle sister, we always had a relationship, but we had a big gap in between us. Each one of us was like 9 years apart, 8 years apart, because my mother really wanted to do this, y'all. My mother used to hear voices. They would call her schizophrenics and stuff like that. It wasn't that. It was God giving her assignments. Because the same thing that my mother had to go through, I'm going through it now. I went through that with my younger 2 children. My oldest son was taken away from me because of domestic violence by my second husband. So my oldest son really don't know me. He know of me, and he knows I love him. But he don't know me like my 2 baby children know me. When my mother died, my middle sister was 16. I was getting ready to turn 8. My mother died February the 17th. My birthday is February the 28th. They had my mother's funeral on February the 22nd. Mind you, why would a 8-year-old still remember these things? Because it was a price. It's a cost. And there's a destiny that needs to be fulfilled. This thing can be really heavy, but you have to have a warrior spirit to be able to take the journey. If you a fair weather friend and you feel like you're going to flake out before it even gets started, it ain't even no point. Let the next descendant take on the flight. Because it got to be completed. If you have people that got killed in your family, that's why the journey is in place. Somebody got to get on the journey and break the curse. It involves that. If you had people that been on drugs in your life, in your family, so many, you can tell the generational curses because that's a consistent thing that goes on in your family. Are you going to be the one to break the curse? You don't know how God is going to do in your life to break the curse, but you got to have that faith walk to do it. And if you had somebody to come in your life and say, you are the generational curse breaker, and you ain't make no moves yet, you missed the mark. In some way, somehow, it's going to get done, whether you do it or not. But as I said, my mother used to take me everywhere. Now, mind you, my mother died when I was 7.5, get ready to turn 8. And they said my mother used to hear voices. Like I said, it was God. It was God told her to do certain things, and she did it without anybody. She didn't care. She did it. But it was this last particular journey that I would never forget. I had to be, because this was some months I was 6. No, She didn't leave after that. Let's go back. Was I 6? I think I was 6. Yep, I was 6. This particular journey, just before she died, she picked up me in the middle of the night. We had a great Christmas. No, I was actually 7. I'm sorry, because she died when she came back. All right, so I was 7, get ready to turn 8. And it was right after Christmas. She got us all these gifts, me and my middle sister. She didn't pay any bills. Now, don't get on my mama like that. Because I know at this particular time, she knew she was about to go on a journey. So she didn't pay no bills. So all the money that she had for the bills, she put on me and my sister. She made sure we had this lavish Christmas. And I mean lavish. I got everything I wanted, and my sister got everything she wanted. In the middle of the night, maybe a week or 2 after Christmas, so this happened in January, she took me to the Greyhound station. And mind you, I'm very smart, very intelligent. I knew my ABCs, my 1, 2, 3s, all this, whatever. And I knew I didn't know how to dial 1 in the front, though. You know how when you long distance, you got to dial 1. But I knew my phone number. So everything that I seen my mom doing, I was trying to like, Mom, you shouldn't be doing it. Bed, stop it. Come on, me a bed. Come on. So that was a consistent thing. So I didn't know what was going on, but she kept taking me everywhere. So she did not get on the Greyhound bus paying the fare. She just jumped on the Greyhound bus. And it was just like, if wherever this is taking me, I'm going. So when the Greyhound people found out we ain't had no bus tickets, they put us off. She said, oh no, we gonna keep on going. Maybe you tired, we gonna sleep here. We slept on benches. We slept we slept on benches. We slept in alleyways. We slept in behind houses. I mean, wherever we could sleep. And she made sure I was comfortable. But whenever the next the next part of the journey started, we had to move. So it was from the Greyhound to the train, from the train to another bus. And so I guess we was at a point of the destination. So we got off and went to a shelter. It was like, however you get there if you can. So we got to New York. That was the destination. Now, mind you, this whole time while we were in New York, my mom was getting everything together, and it was so fast. We were getting ready to move in the apartment, but I kept calling my middle sister. I want you to know where I'm at. I'm talking on the phone thinking I'm talking to somebody, whatever. But my middle sister had a private detective. She hired a private detective to find out where me and my mother was. And the private detective, every time we would move, the private detective just had located us, but we was gone again. So finally, we came to that shelter, and the private detective found us before we moved into the apartment. But we had everything. But my mother asked my sister one thing, because it was only me. I was still young. She knew that my middle sister was going to be in good hands. She was 16, mind you, 16. She knew that she was going to be in good hands. But she asked my middle sister, where are you staying? And when my sister told her where she was staying, she was like, no. She told God, no, I can't do this no longer. She chose my sister over the journey. It's not that she wanted to not complete the journey, but she knew where my sister was, it wasn't going to take her where she needed to go in life. So she chose my sister. When we got back, my mother died. The day that I was supposed to be Christian. I was not with my mother. My mother died in my sister's arms. I was with my father. So I came to know that my mother passed away through my father. In the time that I seen my mother, she was in a casket. So I'm telling you, if God is telling you to take the journey, take the journey. My mother went through a lot. And people didn't understand it. They thought, oh, she had curses on her, or they thought that she had root on her. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I'm a living witness. I know it wasn't. She took me. So I guess I was the next mantle. You might as well say I was the next mantle. Because the same thing my mom did with me, I did with my younger two children. And when I sat back last night, all I can do was cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. But I said at the end of the day, I ain't turning back. Because when I turn back, I know what's left. And it's nothing. That means the next person will have to pick up the journey where I left off. And dag if I'm not turning back for nobody. Because at the end of the day, my descendants is never going to have to go through anything that had happened in my family. I am the curse breaker. I am the one that bring back the redemption. So I'm telling you now, the journey is real. And I'm telling you now, if you don't pick up the journey, somebody else will. And it will pay a price farther, way farther than what you had to pay. So yes, I must go on this journey alone. My two children are no longer with me from yesterday. I already knew that was going to come. I knew. I already knew, and I prepared them. They thought I was being mean. But at the end of the day, if you are not walking in purity, my daughter is 16 and my middle child is 18. So I don't have babies. But they were under me as their mom. And I never seen the day that I would either think or even fathom that they will live with their father. Or even that their father would pick up the idea to say, hey, I'm going to take my children. But somehow out of nowhere, God made it happen for me. What are you saying, Divine? I'm grateful. That means I can pick up my journey and keep going without a hesitation. And I don't have to look back because I know that God is going to do just what my heart desires. He's going to keep my children safe from hurt, harm, and danger. That has always been my prayer. But at the end of the day, so many children in my family got pregnant at a young age. So many children in my family died from gun violence. Who in the world is going to break the demonic spirits? Who in the world is going to break the curses? Somebody got to. But will you make that choice? And I'm telling you, it's not easy. God said the burdens are easy, but the yoke, y'all, like, it comes with a cost. It comes with a price. But is that something truly that you are made of to really take that faith walk? And be open to whatever God tells you that you must do. My prayer life is all day. My meditation life is all day. But I still must work. However the work look like. My lane of work is in my journey, which I'm grateful. Your work life is always going to align with your journey. If God is telling you to leave something, leave it. Leave it. You don't know what's attached to it. You don't know what demonic entities is attached with people, places, or things. If you don't have a spiritual eye, you will never see it. If you don't feel spiritually, you will never feel it. You will think it's just an everyday thing. And go on about your business like nothing ain't wrong. Until your hair start falling out. Until you look one way and then you don't look like that no more. Until you live one place and then you don't live there no more. Wondering why all your money dried up. Because what? You have attached to a demonic entity. You have allowed it to come in. But we must really hear God's voice. I heard him loud and clear. He prepared me years ago. But is there one? He said, but is there a one? I chose it. And it's a difference from then and now. Even in the journey, I'm at peace. God is going to allow you to have peace of whatever goes on. Yeah, you might cry because you're human. You feel, you have emotions, but it ain't going to get to the point where you depressed. If I was so-called depressed, I wouldn't be on here talking to y'all. Mind you, this happened to me yesterday. That was supposed to throw me into depression, oppression, being angry. Nah. I'm going to keep on with this mission until it's complete. And at the end of the day, if God has you on a journey, complete the mission at all costs. It's for God I live and for God I die. Block out everything else. Because everything that you desire, I promise you. Remember, Abraham went to the promised land. He took the journey and he got the promises of God. So no matter what your cost is, you get promises for the cost. But we must trust that we are leaving an impact for the next generation to not go through the same thing that was already done before. That's what the journey is about. It's leaving a mark and a legacy for the generational curses to be broken. Any and everything that God is asking you to do on this journey, do it. And you're walking in a journey to heal people, to deliver people. It's not just for your family at that point. Others going to come in your pathway. And you don't understand why they coming in your pathway. And they just sitting down talking to you about their life out of the blue. That's not for just no reason at all. You somehow is a healer. If it's just by words, actions, thoughts, deeds, whatever the case may be, you are a part of the healing process for whoever comes in your path that needs you. The same way that Jesus walked, you must do the same. But when are you going to follow the instructions? When are you going to pick up out of the comfort zone and walk in the unknown? Because that's what it is. You walking in the unknown and you allowing God to lead the way while you just follow the instructions. That's truly a faith walk. God honors faith. The faith. Why are you in a belief system? Because you have faith. It's about the faith. You believe in God. You have faith that these people are telling you the correct things out of the word of God. It's a faith. It's faith walking. But why are you putting faith in man when you really can put faith in God? And I ain't debunking church. I love church. But when I have an ear from God myself, I'd rather listen to that and use church to give me confirmation. I don't need to keep going up to the altar to be healed, because I hear from God to be able to heal. You want to get in a place just like that. And the only way you can get in this place is you purify yourself. And that's of everything. Everything. So I'm going to end this out with this. Key spiritual principles from Abraham. You cannot step into divine purpose while holding on to your old identity. Leaving is just not for a moment. It's detaching, trusting, and transforming. Others who follow the same path. So you can, a lot of people look at this like it's so crazy, but it's literally in the word. But you say you live by the word. And the word is what you read, and the word is what you follow. But it's in there. But when somebody says it, or when somebody's saying they're doing it, your eyebrow raised, or you what? You lead by an example. These people led by an example, and we must follow the same path. Moses was one that did it too. Left royal life in Egypt. Went into the wilderness for 40 years. Returned transformed to lead a nation. Remember, I said you're leaving. When you do this, you are leaving a legacy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is what you're leaving when you walk by faith. When you pick up your bed and walk. When you take the journey. Not too many people are going to do it. I promise you. I know this to be a fact. This is why you don't have a whole list of names in the Bible. Certain people. The key term for this was identity confusion. This is why he went on the journey. Identity confusion came to purpose clarity. Elijah lived in isolation at the brook and wilderness, depending on fully God. He was only fed by the raven. The key thing for this, separation, building spiritual authority. This is my journey. Elijah's journey is my journey. You got to find out what journey is yours. Abraham and Elijah's journey is my journey. Whose journey and what journey is yours? This stuff is not given for you not to really understand it and take heed of it. But you must elevate off of it and figure out where you lie in the midst of it all. John the Baptist was another one. Lived in the wilderness, away from society. Prepared the way for Jesus. The key theme for this is isolation shaping assignment. You shall find yourself in some way, some shape, some fashion, form, while you have to do the journey. The disciples left jobs, incomes, and normal life instantly. Matthew 4:20 states this. Immediately they left their nets and followed him. The thing for this, immediate obedience over comfortability. I say this all the time. Immediate obedience over comfortability. The Apostle Paul left status, power, and religion authority. Became persecuted instead of praised. Key theme, true calling often reverses your old life. Remember I said generational curse breakers. So where are the Abrahams? Where are the Pauls? Apostle Pauls? Where are the Elijahs? Where are the John the Baptist? Who will pick up the bed and walk? The pattern, this is important. Across all of them, the pattern is consistent. This is what is doing in what is being done in this season. It's a consistency. It's a consistent thing that is being done across the whole world. A call or a awaken. God is calling you and you are awakening. Separation physically and or eternally. The wilderness or unknown phase. Testing and refining. Transformation. Assignment and purpose. Legacy. That's it, and that's all. This is the order of the journey. The order of the journey. I'm at 6, the assignment and purpose. The start of it, not good. You ain't gonna feel good with it. But I promise you, when you get to number 6, you're gonna be a beast with it. You're gonna know what everything is for. Oh, okay, all right, that wasn't for me. I'm gonna keep on going, God. What you got for me next? May hurt you, shed the tears, but you picking it up. Hey, what's next, God? What you got for me? So again, I'm gonna repeat the steps. The pattern across all of these people that took the journey, and it's very consistent. A call or awakening. Separation, physically and internally. Wilderness or the unknown phase. Testing and refining. Transformation, assignment, and purpose, and then legacy. What are you leaving behind? What this means spiritually, this isn't just history. It is a template. Leaving is often required for clarity. Confusion usually comes from staying where you're comfortable or you're outgrown. The unknown is where identity is being revealed. God develops you before he uses you. You cannot be fully used until you answer the call. Not the fake answer call. Not the one I'm going to take the title and yeah. No, the call is, yes, God. I'm going to walk this faith walk, and wherever you lead me, God, I'm going to follow. I like class. What's that? Sister A, she said, follow him. It's a song. Follow him wherever we may go. Ooh, there isn't no motion to it. No mountain so high we can be. Keep me away from his love. It has a meaning. The final truth of this, growing and grounding. You're growing and then you grounding it. You setting the foundation in the earth. Not everybody. I already said this, but not everybody is going to answer the call. Is going to be able to leave physically and leave everything like Abraham. That is a big cost. But spiritually, everyone who grows will have to let go of everything that is familiar. Let go of everything that is comfortable. Walk without full clarity. This is where the faith walk comes in. And test. Make sure it's true. Trust before results appear. You got to trust. God is going to test you. He's going to try you. If he see he ain't going to wait, he's going to move on to the next. I promise you. But we got to trust. Trust the process without a shadow or doubt. I had to. Even with all these funny names that I didn't know or didn't understand, and people looked at me crazy. I mean, really, people looked at me crazy because when I was trying to find out the understanding of certain names, my sister said, oh man, you always were very curious. Oh man. And then people like, oh, that's not word. That's not biblical. What? But when I come to find out, God is never going to lead me astray. And he's never going to leave me hanging without the knowledge and the education of understanding what I need to know to be able to keep going. So I trust the knowledge. And I trust how he is giving it to me. I had to do a lot of research, though. I had to do a lot of praying. And I had to do a lot of waiting for the downloads. I had to do a lot of waiting for getting really clarity and understanding. Because I wanted it. And I was not going to let nobody take it away from me because they didn't know. And I found out they not woke. You are not really awakened until you really answer the call. You can't be woke. What journey are you on? The awakened ones are on a journey. They're on a mission to make sure people are being healed, people are being set free, and people are being delivered. They are on assignments. But first, all these assignments have to be done with you first. So if you are not doing the assignment with you first, becoming your own healer. Through who? God. You should be able to heal you. Remember, the I am is in the I am. You are the little God. He is the big God. So you mean to tell me you are not able to heal yourself? The journey has to start with you. You're looking at a person that suffered with seizures from 2014 all the way up to 2022 and been healed from there. Why? Because I trusted God with the process of being the healer that he's called me to be. I had to heal myself first before I'm able to go out there and heal the land. It must start with who? You. It must start with you. Until next time, this is Divine Due Diligence. Coming on here to do my due diligence to let you know God is called and he's ready for you to awaken to the purpose and the journey for your life. Get on board because the train is leaving and it's not coming back. It's not. It has no return of destination. And this is not, the promise. It's not the promised son. It's not that. You're being left behind if you're not on this train. This is what left behind is. It's about awakening now. It's about raising your vibration to heal the earth and the people that are on it. If you are called to be a healer, start healing. If you are called to be a deliverer of people, start delivering. If you are called to be the messenger of God, start messaging. You have an assignment. Don't leave it not being handled. Because you're going to get a big fat F at the end. Saying you failed. And then he says, depart from me. I know you not, you worker of iniquity. You didn't do anything. You did what you wanted to do, not what he told you to do. Obedience is always better than sacrifice. Peace. I love you all. And I love the God in you. Namaste.